The sky was clear and blue, the scene peaceful with a few pigeons fluttering about, yet this place was on the verge of great turmoil. A letter arrived, its contents reading. To the Princess of Nok. The leader of the Tawakan mercenary band seeks to propose marriage. We have waited half a month, now we await the princess's reply. Holding the letter, the princess stood stunned by the castle window, nearly despairing over this impending marriage. Her two retainers cried out in alarm. Are you truly going to accept that proposal? They are barbarians who know nothing of human decency, how dare they propose? They clearly know the princess already has a worthy fiancé. The princess clutched the letter tightly, not daring to crumple it, and replied in despair. But if I do not accept, what other choice is there? We lack the strength to oppose them, you know this well. With her enchanting face, sparkling emerald eyes, and radiant chestnut hair, the princess turned back, striving to appear strong. That was Princess Lenine of Nok. The old guard clenched his fists in fury. No. We can still fight. For the princess, I am ready to sacrifice my life at any moment. Lenine turned toward the window and softly replied. Whereas, the Tawakan mercenaries have besieged the city for half a month under the pretext of proposing to me. Just half a month. Supplies from outside were cut off long ago, food and water are nearly gone. The people are exhausted, the soldiers have lost the will to fight. Our enemy is the most savage and brutal mercenary band in continental history. No nation dares face Tawakan. Even the mighty kingdom of Lakes, strongest on the continent, knelt and signed a humiliating peace treaty. How could a dying little kingdom like ours stand against them? To them, we are nothing more than a rabbit hunt. A battle hopeless from the start. At this rate, everyone in the city will soon starve. I will accept the proposal. The two retainers shouted. No, princess. Do you not know what scum the Tawakan are, how savage and beastly they act? Lenine clenched her fists, bowed her head to hide her tears. I know. I have heard enough rumors. They say the Tawakan are possessed by gods. One proof, they prefer to sleep with men over women. Whereas asked. You already knew? The other retainer added. And you know the reason, don't you? They say the women who go with them, because of that brutality, none survive a single night. They die easily and horribly, princess. Lenine trembled inwardly. What manner of beasts are they, after all? She gripped her own arm tightly, forcing a resolute tone. Even so, they won't kill me in a single night. If that were their intent, they wouldn't have proposed in the first place. Please, do not accept them, princess. Have you forgotten Lord Klinefelt? The man who loves you more than his own life, he swore to borrow reinforcements from his mother's kingdom, Shirka, and return within 10 days. Yet far too much time has passed, and the Klinefelt clan merely stands by, watching this unfold. Still, the Klinefelts are the most powerful house in Nok. We cannot sever ties unilaterally without discussion. But even discussion changes nothing, we can wait no longer. Your Highness, we must endure, the guard pressed, but Lenine cut him off firmly. As a bearer of the Arsak bloodline, my duty is to protect Nok. If accepting this proposal can preserve everything, I will send a reply to the Tawakan leader. I accept. Hours later, outside Nok's walls, the princess and her guards sat at the negotiation table, but no one from the other side appeared. Whereas fumed, they're late. Daring to keep us waiting at a parley, truly a pack that knows nothing of courtesy. Lenine gave a strained smile, think positively. It buys me time to steel myself. Lord Tawakan, she thought. Leader of the Tawakans, son of the war god born after he ravished a mortal woman. Death itself cursed him, and even the earth goddess rejected his body. They say no battlefield can kill him. That alone reveals how ruthless and bloodthirsty he is. Do not show fear, she told herself. This is not mere courtship, it is negotiation. Whatever they want, I must not yield easily. Suddenly the guard swallowed hard of GLK, and whispered, Princess, the clash of swords. What? Lenine startled, peering outside. Whereas assessed, steel on steel, screams, not practice or brawling. A real fight. Princess, it must be Lord Klinefelt, he's come. Lenine gasped, you're certain? It seems he finally brought reinforcements and is attacking the Tawakans. Tears rolled down Lenine's cheeks. Then. I don't have to accept the proposal yet, do I? Whereas urged, exactly. Hide for now. We should retreat and observe. They're busy fighting, no time to punish us for breaking the agreement. Quickly, princess. Just as she turned to flee, the tent flap lifted. A tall figure in a cloak stepped through. Lenine froze and yelped, "Ah!" Before her stood a towering man, cold black eyes half hidden beneath dark hair, staring straight at her. Who is he? She wondered. I'm late, he said. Greetings, Princess of Nok. Lenine's eyes widened. This man, the war god's forsaken son? So tall, dark, reeking of blood, and those eyes, beautiful. Oh, my hopeless attraction to men, terrible timing. Your suitor has arrived, he declared. I had urgent business, forgive my tardiness, princess. Speechless, Lenine returned to the table with Wera's help and sat slowly. Stay calm. Just because a barbarian doesn't look barbaric doesn't mean he isn't. She spoke, I greet the leader of Tehuacan. What matter kept the man proposing to me waiting? An ambush, Tehuacan replied. As I thought, reinforcements. Lenine answered coolly, if it was an ambush, you surely have no time to linger here with me. Let us reschedule once you've settled everything. Joy surged within, but she feigned irritation to stall. Tehuacan wiped blood from his cheek and said icily, no need. It's settled. He turned and ordered, bring it. Yes, master. A soldier entered carrying a blood-soaked sword. Lenine stared, stunned into silence, it was Klinefeld's blade. It was laid neatly on the table, drenched in crimson. So he, the reinforcements, the knights, all. Tehuacan spoke, as you see, there was an ambush. It is no longer an issue. So, what is your answer to my proposal? Beneath the table, Lenine's hands shook uncontrollably, nails digging into her palms. Stay calm. First, escape this situation. She said, first, please observe proper etiquette, Lord Tehuacan. Etiquette, he echoed. Lenine continued, I don't know why you brought this, but in Nok, no one brandishes a sword during a marriage proposal. Tehuacan's eyes narrowed. Etiquette. Very well. He kicked Klinefeld's red-hilted sword clanging to the ground and rose abruptly, making Lenine flinch. I meant no offense. I only wished to show you. The owner of this blade was the reason you could still refuse me, but that reason no longer exists. He fixed his gaze on Lenine, eyes cold but not angry, and said. Your answer? It's over. Sweat broke out on her skin, mouth agape in terror. I know everything now, who launched the ambush, who owned that sword, and how desperately I've fought to escape this proposal. I underestimated Tehuacan. He's not here to marry me, he's here to swallow everything whole. Like a beast toying with its prey before the kill. He wants all of Nok. I cannot accept this marriage. I must escape, without spilling more blood. Lenine met his stare, voice steady. Lord Tehuacan, the owner of that sword was the knight commander of House Arsak, and my lover. I know, Tehuacan replied, emotionless. Please believe the lie. She pressed on. He and I spent the night together. I am with child. Tehuacan's lips tightened, caught off guard. Lenine cradled her belly and asked. Do you still wish to propose? Whereas, hearing his princess lie, broke into a nervous sweat, he knew the truth. Tehuacan studied her, calculating. Whereas whispered, Princess. But Lenine continued. What you seek through this marriage is surely dominion over Nok. Then know this, even if you wed me, the heir to the throne will be the child in my womb, one who carries no Tehuacan blood. Tehuacan answered without hesitation. A steeper price than I expected. If I acknowledge that child's right to succession, will you consent? Lenine fell silent, trapped again. What? Tehuacan said. Then bear the child. In exchange, I claim you, princess. She accepted wordlessly. Nothing left to bargain with. She would save her people. Outside the tent, Tehuacan offered. I'll see you off. Take my hand. He extended it. Lenine did not. Holding hands is still foreign to me. I decline this time. He did not lower it. You'll grow used to it. Start now. She glared, reaching. Before she finished, he swept her up and set her on horseback. Their eyes locked. She faltered, struck by his star-filled gaze. He paused. Your hand is hurt. Lenine blinked. Huh? He lifted her palm. You did well. He bowed and kissed the wound, licking the seeping blood clean. Go now. Until next time. Lenine and her escort returned to Nok, mind unsettled by the stranger. She glanced back, his silhouette beautiful, solitary. A Tawakan aide stormed up, furious. What are you thinking, my lord? For a bastard child? Wasn't the whole point to take Nok without more bloodshed? That's why you proposed. Did I misunderstand? The bespectacled man glared, waiting. Tawakan watched the princess's distant riders and sighed. No misunderstanding. I want Nok. The aide trailed after him, grumbling. Then retract the succession waiver. An illegitimate child could breed chaos later. Whatever terms we set, they can't refuse, right? Tawakan walked on without looking back. Everything I want includes her. The aide froze. Sir? Tawakan repeated. The Princess of Nok. My lord. You want that woman? His master never cared for women, rumors even claimed stranger things. And he's never met her before. My lord isn't the type to fall for beauty. Why now? Tawakan murmured. This is nothing but a marriage of conquest. Even if she loves another, I won't force her. I have no intention to. Face darkening, he added. The child is irrelevant. The aide muttered. Why does this sound like a romance novel protagonist? Does he truly want her heart, or is there another reason? Tawakan gazed toward Nok. If I want something, I will have it. From the beginning, she was mine. The aide stammered, Sir? Nok was. What does that mean? He's conquered kingdoms just to rest, skipped richer lands. Why this barren patch? Is it tied to a past I don't know? Firmus, quiet. I can hear the gears grinding in your skull, Tawakan sighed, cutting him off. If you need to know, I'll tell you. Otherwise, stop digging. Firmus shot him a look but said nothing, cursing inwardly, humph. If it's your will, I won't pry. He bowed and followed. Then I'll obey, my lord. Inside Nok's walls, Lenine stood at the castle window, watching the sunset in melancholy. She remembered Klinefeld's arms around her shoulders, his promise. Please trust me. Though my uncle forced the betrothal, my feelings for you are true. Even if you don't yet understand, I'll wait until you do. She bowed her head and whispered. Be at peace. In that land of death, may you find someone who can love you wholly? Lenine covered her face, choking back sobs as tears fell. She remembered the man she had never allowed more than a kiss. Their kiss had seemed romantic, perfect, yet it was only compromise, a calculated engagement. The Klinefelds wanted control of Nok, she had used their power in return. She had even exploited a dead man. She thought of the knight who died for her, and the child that never existed. Her hand drifted to her stomach. It's all right. We'll hide this child somehow. But could she deceive him? Those ruthless, savage eyes that seemed to see through everything. She shivered, recalling the kiss on her hand in the Tawakan camp, half-dazed. A voice cut in. Princess. Are you listening? Lenine sat at her desk, facing the silver-haired man. Continue, Masalu. Masalu resumed. I've scraped together 3 months' taxes, by slashing every possible expense. Lenine exhaled in relief. 3 more months. But Masalu warned they could not sustain this, taxes must rise. Lenine objected. There's no reason a 20-year drought ends overnight. We cannot burden the people further. Find another way. Staring at the ledgers, she sighed. Income dwindled yearly. Trade had kept them fed until Tawakan's siege. She tapped the desk lightly. Yes, good that I accepted Tawakan's proposal quickly. Otherwise these numbers would be worse. Masalu scowled. Still, accepting so hastily was a mistake. You should have consulted the Klinefelds first. Lenine's eyes flashed coldly. Here we go again. I'll discuss it later. Tawakan is personally bringing Klinefeld's body today. Tell them to wait. Masalu frowned. The royal family needs time for a state funeral. He was the Klinefeld heir. Lenine replied. That could insult my new fiancé. I'll speak to Tawakan. Masalu swore under his breath. Etiquette with barbarians? Linden Klinefeld won't stand for it. At the name, Lenine's gaze turned venomous. That old leech. He had meant to drain Nock through his nephew's marriage. Now his schemes were dust, yet his greed knew no end. She clenched her fists, holding back rage, and dismissed Masalu. As he left, he muttered. The Klinefelds have stood with Nock for generations. Ignore them, and the price will be steep. Remember that, princess. Alone, Lenine stared at the closed door. Even a funeral becomes a battlefield. Checking the hour, she rose. Time to change for Klinefeld's body. Then she thought of Tawakan's fierce silhouette, and chose a slightly more welcoming gown instead. For Nock's sake, I cannot even mourn selfishly. Before the corpse of the man who swore love to me, I am the cold, selfish one. In her modest chamber, her old nurse wept, holding a dress. Lenine turned. Nurse. The nurse had chosen the finest gown in the wardrobe. Is this necessary for a barbarian? Lenine gave a bitter smile. We must keep some courtesy. The nurse tightened the corset laces. You needn't be too beautiful. They don't deserve it. They killed the man you loved. Lenine soothed her. Lady Flambard, he is dead. I am now Tawakan's betrothed. Mentioning Lord Lapide Klinefelt dishonors both me and my current fiancé. Flambard startled, swallowed her tears, and nodded. Lenine whispered. One more thing, secret. I am with child. Flambard dropped the lace in shock. What? Shoo, Lenine gestured. When will the gown no longer hide it? Flambard began calculating, when a servant shouted outside. Princess! The Tawakan leader is at the gates. At last, Tawakan's riders stood before the walls. Inside, Lenine and her trembling nurse braced for what came next. Nock's sky remained clear, but now crows circled overhead. Several coffins lay neatly before the gate. Tawakan stood arms folded, facing Lenine and her small retinue. Firmus spoke. The bodies are returned intact, as requested. Consider them the first gift to the Princess of Nock, in gratitude for accepting the proposal. Lenine smiled bitterly inside. A betrothal gift of corpses? I am grateful you came to deliver the fallen with such care, coffins prepared and all. Tawakan, silent until now, stepped forward. More than a day has passed. Now let us speak seriously of the wedding. Lenine said nothing. Inside Nock Castle, the negotiations unfolded. Firmus spoke first. No one benefits from delaying this marriage. Winter approaches. Before it arrives, Tawakan will dismantle the camp and move to shelter. He lowered his glasses, voice laced with menace. Princess, I believe you'll want the child in your womb to see a swift wedding. Masalu roared. What did you say? A child? He thought frantically, Lord Lafitte and the princess never, did they? He demanded. Princess, whose child is it? Lenine, expressionless. Mine. Tawakan cut in, eyes flashing. Mine. Lenine broke into a cold sweat. What the hell? But Tawakan continued. When the child is born, it will believe I am its true father. Its claim to the throne will be protected under my name. Lenine exhaled. Ah, so that's it. She'd nearly been branded a harlot, and made an enemy of the Klinefelds. Masalu shouted. Princess, what are you thinking? She bowed her head, silent. She knew how reckless and dangerous this lie was. The words were out, they could not be taken back. Fake a miscarriage later, or actually get pregnant. If the latter, I must bed him soon. Act experienced, hide the pain of a first time. He'll know I'm not pregnant otherwise. So. Firmus pressed. The ceremony must be held within half a month. In 1 or 2 months more, the princess will no longer be able to conceal her condition. Masalu wailed. Half a month? We can't even finish the gown. But Lenine's groom-to-be declared. I will prepare the dress myself. She need not worry. He added. If the princess has any further reason to delay, speak now. Lenine clutched her skirt, tense. He's too thorough. If that ruthless man discovered the deception, unimaginable. It's not the gown, she said softly. Nock Castle is in financial crisis from decades of drought. We cannot afford a wedding in half a month. So the issue is money? Tawakan asked. Lenine admitted, ashamed. Yes. Tawakan called. Firmus. Yes. Firmus presented a chest brimming with gold. This is the bride price for the princess. 6 coffins, I fear, were not the most festive gift. Masalu and Weraz gaped, shouting. Princess! This! Even Lenine's mouth hung open. Sell all of Nok and it wouldn't match this. Firmus continued proudly. The child's succession rights will be explicitly recorded in the marriage contract. Furthermore, Tawakan's forces will become the royal guard of House Arsak, swearing absolute loyalty to the princess. Lenine stared, bewildered. What the hell is happening? Masalu, half-deaf with shock. You mean, hire the entire mercenary band? Even this gold couldn't cover their cost. You know that. Firmus replied calmly. Tawakan will bear the full expense. Lenine calculated. If Tawakan becomes Arsak's army, Nok becomes the strongest of the 5 southern kingdoms. The bastard child's rule is secured. Loyalty to House Arsak, full funding of a legendary mercenary force, this deal offers Tawakan nothing. Why would he propose something so disadvantageous? She hesitated. Your terms are too generous. How can I trust you'll honor them? Tawakan answered plainly. I have no reason to deceive my bride. Lenine's suspicion did not waver. No one's this stupid. No deal this sweet exists. She insisted. Nok has no need for such a vast force. No one cares about a barren, impoverished land. Tawakan interrupted. Wasn't the Arsak Knight Commander one such threat? Lenine startled. Tawakan spoke of Klinefelt as an attacker. Not just him. There will be more, whether for Nok or for you. Firmus cut in, warm and eager. Then we'll take that as the princess's consent to Tawakan's forces remaining. I'll discuss details with the steward. Aides from both sides rose. This way, please. They filed out, leaving Tawakan and Lenine alone, facing each other. After a stifling silence, Lenine could bear it no longer. She stood. Would you walk with me? Tawakan blinked, then rose. As you wish. He offered his arm. Where to? Lenine hesitated at this sudden courtesy, then slipped her hand through his elbow. The gardens of Nok. They walked the sunlit corridor, light slanting through tall stained glass windows. Lenine's eyes betrayed unease, Tawakan's were unreadable. He's so tall, it unnerves me. She gripped his arm tighter, and flinched at the iron muscle beneath. Tawakan glanced at her other hand, shyly brushing her hair. You didn't treat the wound? He took her hand gently in both of his. It's worsening. Are you suffering? Lenine stared, dazed by his tenderness. He continued softly. Please care for yourself. From now on, every hurt you bear is my responsibility. He lifted her hand to his cheek and kissed it, meeting her wide, foolish eyes. She didn't understand. His gentleness made her flush, she fought to stay composed. I'm fine, she stammered, pulling away. Tawakan offered to heal it, but Lenine deflected. Let's keep walking. The rear garden is this way. She turned quickly. He tells me to take care? The one who's hurt me most is myself. They stepped into the courtyard. The sky was clear, but the trees stood withered and bare, desolation everywhere. Did I bring him here to mock him? Lenine wondered. They say this was once a paradise. But all Nok is like this now. Let him see, this land is worth nothing. Tawakan noticed her gloom. Are you unwell? She drooped. I'm fine. I only regret inviting you to a place with nothing to see. He gazed ahead, thoughtful. Not entirely. You are here. Lenine rolled her eyes inwardly. Me? Does he mean he endures it because of me? Or? I'll take that as you being content, she replied. She started forward. Don't move. Lenine blinked. What? Tawakan's eyes sharpened, scanning elsewhere. Before she could react, an arrow streaked toward her. Tawakan yanked her aside, the shaft buried in his shoulder. In that instant, Lenine knew nothing, only cried out. Lord Tawakan! And clung to him. He wrapped her small frame in his arms. Tawakan's soldiers roared, charging the arrow's origin. High on the castle wall, Klinefelt crouched in shadow, quiver still heavy with arrows. Tawakan barked. Do not let him escape. Take him alive. Klinefelt clicked his tongue, sweat beading, and melted into the darkness. In the courtyard, Tawakan dropped to one knee. Are you hurt? Lenine's mind raced. Who did this? First, let me help you inside. It's safer. She feared Tawakan's side would think she had lured him out for an ambush. This has nothing to do with Nock. I never meant you harm, Lord Tawakan. Who would want to doom Nock like this? Tawakan was no fool. Lenine had no reason to sell herself to save the city, then destroy it by assassinating him. As she trembled, he suddenly slipped an arm around her waist and pulled her close. You look like the one who needs support. Lenine gasped. Ah, Lord Tawakan, you're the wounded one. I know, he said. Yet the unharmed one is shaking as if about to faint. She fell silent and let him guide her inside. His hand rested respectfully at her waist, yet with a hint of restlessness. In the castle, he sat while the arrow wound behind his shoulder was bandaged. Firmus gaped in horror at his war god injured mere moments after entering the city. Tawakan snapped at him to shut up. He still had his pride before the princess standing there. Lenine stood with clasped hands, anxious for Nock's fate and for the man who had taken an arrow for her. Firmus tried to stop Tawakan from rising, continuing the bandage while glaring venomously at Nock. His threatening tone made Lenine tremble, head bowed, dreading the coming wrath. Masalu shouted back that Nock was no faithless rabble. But Lenine begged him to stop. Perhaps a few untrustworthy souls exist here, but they do not speak for all. We only want lasting peace, and I have no wish to break the betrothal. Her eyes met Tawakan's, wary, curious. Firmus smirked. So that's it, my lord. You share the princess's desire for Nock's peace? Tawakan answered curtly. I always have. Lenine's face softened, relief washing over her. Firmus, surprised. Truly? Then, with the princess's permission, Tawakan forces will handle the search for the mastermind. Masalu roared. What? Nock's own guard. Firmus raised a hand. No interference intended, good sir. We merely have a duty to deal with whoever tried to assassinate our lord, as the royal guard of House Arsak. Masalu cried. Princess. Lenine bowed her head, thinking fast. So the marriage to Tawakan is real now. Days ago I swore to refuse. She said. Do as you see fit. Night fell. Tawakan lay feverish on the bed, drenched in sweat. Lenine sat beside him. Her old nurse brought a basin so the princess could wipe him down and cool the fever. The nurse urged Lenine to rest, she had nearly dozed off. Lenine refused. She needed to show sincerity to Tawakan's side. The nurse whispered. He's delirious. He won't remember. Lenine slumped, exhausted. He really has a fever, yet he acted fine earlier. He must be used to pain, like he's been shot 100 times. She looked at the scars crisscrossing his body, a pang in her heart. She asked the nurse to wipe him, but the woman wept. Even touching this man terrifies me. How will you live with him? Lenine glanced up sharply. Lower your voice. Tawakan's army is right outside. And I can bear contact. Give me the cloth, I'll do it. Lady Flambard sobbed harder for her princess, then left to fetch fresh water. Lenine stood by the bed, mumbling aloud. Okay, I do hate touching other people, it's awkward as hell, but this time, it's kinda different. She perched on the corner of the mattress and started dabbing the warm cloth over the delirious Tawakan. She stole glances at him, genuinely puzzled. It's not that I hate it. I don't mind touching him. So why am I stalling? Out loud, without thinking. Is it just because we're still strangers? Tawakan's voice, raspy but very awake. To me, princess, you're not a stranger at all. Lenine broke into a cold sweat. He's been awake this whole time? He cracked one eye open. If my earlier touch didn't make you bolt, then exactly how far do I have to go before you do? She slapped a hand over her mouth, eyes like saucers. Since when? His fever-glazed eyes were tired but impossibly soft, no trace of the scary warlord. She blurted, heart racing. You're awake. Since when? Please tell me he missed the embarrassing parts. Tawakan sighed dramatically. I caught the part where you said my touch isn't unbearable. Lenine clutched her skirt like a lifeline. He continued, deadpan. Fever makes me curious. I need to verify. She kept wiping his chest, whispering. Fine. Suddenly his restless hand cupped her cheek. How about this? Still okay? His gaze turned pleading. I'm asking. If it's not unbearable, then why the hesitation? Lenine bit her lip, silent. His fingers kept stroking. She turned away, flustered. You're burning up. Stop talking, rest. Take your medicine if you're tired. Tewakan smirked, eyes fluttering shut. True, the fever's brutal. So. He shot upright. Hand slid from cheek to lips. And this? He pressed a finger to her mouth. Speak, princess. His intense eyes watched as the big finger gently parted her lips. Can you handle this? Lenine froze, knuckles white. Silence equals consent. His hand drifted lower, beneath her throat. And this? Still good? He lifted her chin. How about this? She'd been taking it like a champ, until. She swatted his hand away. Enough. How much more do you want me to endure? You proposed. I was forced to dump the guy I loved. And now you expect me to swoon like some love-struck teenager? Her scowl killed the mood instantly. Tewakan deflated. I don't even know anymore. The only thing I'm sure of is I'm not letting anyone else steal you. He grabbed her hand, practically begging. Not even one kiss? Lenine stammered. He cut in. You can't reject me forever. I'm not your suitor anymore, I'm your fiancé. He stared at her wounded hand, voice low. So tell me, what do I have to do to earn permission? Lenine's brain went into strategy mode. Whatever his game, Nock wins. Turn his promises into ironclad vows, not paper. He's delirious, perfect timing. She declared. Then swear one thing. Name it. If you ever take Nock by force, take it, but don't destroy it. Don't erase it. Tewakan's eyes snapped clear. A deal. He still held the upper hand. And in exchange? Lenine took a deep breath. I swear, this marriage won't be a fragile dream. It'll be real. I'll give you my whole heart, Lord Tewakan. She placed a hand over her heart, solemn as a knight. Tewakan shrugged. Deal. Then, bam, arm around her waist, yanked her close, and planted a full-on French kiss. Mouth sealed, no escape. When he finally let go, he said casually. If I wanted to destroy everything, I wouldn't have bothered proposing. Lenine, still reeling. Not propose? Tewakan pushed her down, kissing her like a man possessed. She fought to stay sane. It's just the fever. When it breaks, he'll calm down. Spoiler, it didn't break. His lips trailed down her neck. The heat caught her too. Arms looped around his neck on instinct. Just using his delirium for a sec, she told herself. At the peak, just below her collarbone, he stopped. Muttered to himself. Maybe I should quit while I'm ahead. Not sure how much longer I can blame the fever. Lenine turned away, cheeks flaming, one hand still on his solid shoulder, the other weakly pushing. She sat up, flustered. I forgot you're still a patient. I'll let you rest. Get well soon. She bolted for the door. Tewakan lay back, eyes closed, smug. I'll recover fast. Because now I know. I don't need the fever as an excuse anymore. Sweet dreams. Lenine's spine turned to ice. This guy's brain is way too sharp for a fever patient. Lenine stumbled out of the room, still dazed, knees buckling as she leaned against the door. She frantically wiped Tewakan's lingering kiss from her lips, cheeks burning with a mix of fury and embarrassment. Inside, Tewakan, finally purged of his fever, slept like a contented beast. Lenine, meanwhile, shuffled down the hall, whispering desperate prayers. Please, let it just be the fever. Don't forget your promise. Even if you learn I lied, keep your word, keep needing me. Under the cloak of night, loyal Weraz tirelessly investigated the attack. He paced the upper castle balcony, tracing the arrow's trajectory. It had to come from here. Right on cue, something glinted on the floor, a small, gleaming metal leaf. He picked it up, heart sinking. No, it can't be. Princess. Lenine jumped. Whereas? It's the dead of night. He hushed her, glancing over his shoulder. I came in secret, might be followed. You need to see this. Now. He opened his hand. Lenine's breath caught. Klinefeld's arrow fletching. Freshly dropped. She whispered. That arrow was him? Whereas said. Could be someone using his bow. The coffins haven't been opened yet, right? They hurried to the crypt, whereas pried open a lid. Lenine hovered nearby, trembling. Whereas said, wearing Klinefeld's armor. Lenine stepped closer, but not his face. He's alive, hiding, still fighting. Whereas said again, likely under his uncle's protection, the Lord Regent, untouchable. He added, Princess, we should send word before they suspect. Footsteps echoed. They spun. Firmus sauntered in, all smirks and suspicion. Well. Midnight coffin check? Lenine, cool as ice. I came to say goodbye. Morning starts tomorrow, no more chances. Firmus replied, your lover needs a private send-off? Whereas quietly sealed the lid. Lenine, bristling. Got a problem? Firmus, grinning. Not at all. I'll pass your heartfelt farewell to my lord. Lenine brushed past. Good night. Hope your hunt goes well. Firmus, eyes like knives. Such sincere support. Truly moving, princess. In the hallway, Whereas whispered. Wish you'd just played along. What now? The wedding. Lenine, silent. Do I trust the devotion of the man I loved, or the wildfire obsession of the one who wants me? Klinefeld will burn everything to save his heir. Tewakan will raise it to kill him. Repay loyalty and perish, or yield to Tewakan and preserve the bloodline, she said aloud. Move fast. Whereas said, Lenine repiled. Contact the bereaved family. I'll deliver the news and discuss the funeral myself. It's only proper, and a trap. Whereas, sweating. If they suspect, Lenine, grim. We improvise. In Tewakan's room, Firmus said, just a little fib. Tewakan asked. The corpse isn't the Arsak Knight Commander? Firmus answered. Helmet and armor don't match. Slapped a commander's plume on some poor sap. He smirked. You knew, didn't you? Tewakan's silence equals yes. Firmus said. Thought the guy fled. Turns out he's craftier than we thought. Tewakan repiled. Endgame still knock. His thing with the princess isn't fully over. Firmus raised a brow. Wait, he dreams of eloping with her? Good luck. Duty first. Lenine isn't running off. He paused. That arrow today, he shot it, right? Then, click. Firmus grinned. Oh. You let it hit you. On purpose. Tewakan turned away, ears pink. Firmus, cackling. Brilliant. Instant sympathy, total control of knock, blah blah. Tewakan muttered. Didn't expect that guy to be her type. Firmus jolted. What? Tewakan scowled. The arrow was meant for the princess, not me. Firmus's face darkened. Hold on, are you mad because she almost got hit? A few days ago you just wanted to use her. People don't flip that fast. Unless, she's still useful, right? Detective mode activated, Firmus pressed on. She probably believed he was dead until she saw the body. I'll tail her every move. Why not use this chance to wipe out the Klinefelds for good, before he gets near her again? Tewakan barely listened, lost in the memory of Lenine's soft lips. Swear to me you'll only need me. Her solemn vow, my whole heart to you, Lord Tewakan, and that graceful figure still made his chest ache. He waved a hand. Leave it. She'll choose soon enough. Firmus sighed. Understood. Discreet surveillance, tighter sweeps. A nod from Tewakan, and he bowed out. Alone, Tewakan absently touched the bandaged wound, replaying Lenine's panicked cry when the arrow struck. If I'd just killed that lover from the start, none of this mess. Morning came. Lenine shuffled in morning black, the hem dragging like a bad omen. She nearly tripped. Have I lost weight? A princess so broke she couldn't afford a proper funeral gown. Or any gown, really. Tray of medicine and breakfast in hand, she muttered. Does this walking skeleton still look desirable to him? She shook her head. If it was just looks, he'd never have wanted me in the first place. A spark of hope flickered. Klinefeld's alive. Can I face Tewakan with a straight face, pretend I know nothing, and keep last night's fiery vows intact? If even a hint of that passion lingers in him, I can't keep dodging like a coward. One wrong step and everything crumbles. Stay sharp. At Tawakan's door, she knocked softly. Morning. Awake? Silence. She bent to set the tray down. The door yanked open. Tawakan loomed, shirt half-buttoned, looking like a sculpted god. From her low angle, he was pure statue goals. He raised a brow. Did I scare you? She yelped, those abs could bake bread, and stammered. No, no. Let's just go inside. Your arm's not healed. I brought breakfast. He reached. Give it here. No, I can. It's heavy. It's not the weight, it's your shoulder. Don't move. They tussled over the tray until Tawakan switched tactics. You care about my wound? Lenine huffed. Obviously. Same, he said. But I'm not injured. I meant that outfit. A wail from inside, and oh, princess, this is your only dress? Firmus, clutching his head. Sorry, I had to ask, can't you wear literally anything else? Tawakan frowned. I'm worried about the dress. Lenine glanced down, tugging the loose fabric. It's a bit baggy. Still, straight up roasting her wardrobe felt rude. Especially when your shirt's unbuttoned to the navel, sir. Chef's kiss. Lenine spoke up. The dress is a bit old, forgive me. With the funeral approaching, I haven't had time to sew anything new. In Nok, we were black throughout the mourning period. Firmus blinked. You're wearing that for 3 whole days? Lenine frowned. Is something wrong with it? Does it clash with Tawakan customs? Firmus flushed, eyes darting to the plunging neckline and bare shoulders, smooth skin, generous curves. This princess is so busy saving Nok she doesn't even realize how she looks. That dress wasn't meant to be this revealing, and even I, a man unmoved by beauty, think it's problematic. He turned away. Wearing that in front of my lord. Tawakan growled. Shut it. If the dress bothers you, stop looking. Close your eyes or get out. Firmus sighed dramatically and shuffled out. Let's hope this funeral ends fast. Tawakan glared. Out. Firmus waved. Sorry for the rudeness, princess. Take good care of him. Lenine glanced down, suddenly self-conscious. Is it that bad? She'd only worn it to avoid looking like a scarecrow. If only I could gain a little weight. The thought made her cheeks burn. Why am I worrying about looking good for the man who shattered Nok's peace? The very man now lounging on the bed, eyes half-lidded, waiting. That peace had been a hollow silence anyway. The new thing making her heart race was sitting right there. She took a breath. Breakfast first, or shall I check the wound? Wound first, he said, shrugging off his shirt. She knelt, inspecting. The fever was gone, good. The bandage looked fresh. No need to rewrap. You've already applied medicine. He spoke slowly. Still, I want you to do it. If I hadn't lost control and touched you. Lenine's pulse skipped. Does he mean the promise forever? She didn't dare hope. Oddly, though the wound was neatly dressed, he insisted. Unnecessary, but she obeyed. And I don't hate touching him. His face was sharp again, predator clear, no trace of delirium. So that warmth, those vows, those memories. She recalled their fevered night of raw desire. Kneeling, she began rebandaging. He remembers. He stood up for me earlier. I want to believe it was real. Tawakan sat obediently, no repeat of last night's fire. His gaze softened on the breakfast tray. In another wing of the manor, Klinefelt stood frozen, fist clenched in resignation, murmuring. Lenine, just hold on a little longer. My Lenine. His longing gaze drifted toward Knock Castle, hand absently pressed to the window. Lenine was enduring. A memory flashed, Lafitte once scratched by a branch while riding. Lady Flambert had bandaged it, reassuring him it wouldn't scar. Lenine had soothed, lucky you. Lafitte had wailed like a child, burying his face in her skirts, whining endlessly. She'd rolled her eyes, desperate for it to end, a scratch, while she juggled real duties. How many times did I want to tell him to let go? Now, beside a real man. Tawakan's voice snapped her back. Have you checked carefully? She blinked. Yes. He clarified, I mean, did you inspect the body thoroughly? Her stomach dropped. She busied herself with bandages. Yes, at the chapel. I had to say a proper goodbye. Good, he said. His hand gently cupped her cheek. Then all that's left is for the princess to keep her promise to me. His voice softened, but his eyes were steel. I don't like ambiguity. Lenine's heart raced. Firmus saw us with the coffin. He knows. Tewakan knows. This wasn't a proposal, it was a warning. He continued. So he was your lover? If true, I thank you for your honesty. A pang of sorrow at his cruelty. She lowered her gaze, stammering. Facing that cold, unyielding expression, she steeled herself. If I'm making this marriage real, I end the past cleanly. It's over. She touched his hand on her cheek, lifted her chin. I don't like ambiguity either. The past, I leave it behind. Leaning close, she whispered. As I promised. My choice is clear. She closed her eyes and brushed a soft kiss to his lips. Choosing the man I loved means war with the Klinefelds, and Nock's doom. So the hand I grasp. The kiss deepened. Arms encircled necks, lost in the moment. Tewakan pulled back, breathless. Didn't expect a kiss as proof of your vow. Not bad. He drank in the beautiful girl in his arms. And that dress. Lenine snapped awake, mortified. Lord Tewakan, I think you can let go now. She pushed, accidentally grazing his wound. Oh. I'm so sorry, are you okay? His arm lingered at her tiny waist. Fine. Doesn't hurt. I was careless too. They suddenly remembered the theoretical child between them. Awkward, regretful glances. Lenine studied him. Those full, burning lips, that same fevered passion from last night. This man was made for fire. She drifted, wishing every future look from him would be this one. Cinderella stared too long. What am I thinking? She spun away, regaining composure. Looks like you don't need help with breakfast. Get well soon, Lord Tewakan. Tewakan folded his hands in his lap, a touch wistful. But the steaming meal on the table warmed him all the same. Back in her room, Whereas fretted. Visiting the Klinefelds? They'll suspect. Lenine, packing a lavish box, waved him off. I've got 10 solid excuses to see Regent Lindan. Whereas, still, Tewakan's leader will get suspicious. Be careful. Lenine, they already know he's alive. Whereas, they've never seen Klinefeld's face. They noticed the helmet and armor didn't match, she cut in. Their eyes are terrifyingly sharp, not just the leader, but his right hand too. When I showed them Klinefeld's sword, they didn't bat an eye. They knew then. Mercenaries don't survive a decade of wandering without being calculating as hell. She remembered Tewakan cradling her hand so gently and softened. Don't let your guard down. Whereas, so why go to the Klinefelds? Lenine, to tell him to run. She explained, he won't stop. It's the only way to save both him and Nock. Whereas, you're giving up on him? And his whole house? Tewakan's been bizarrely lenient, but he won't let Klinefeld live. Even Regent Lindan and the Klinefelds won't stay quiet. I have to stop a hopeless war. Whereas, mournful, then you're stuck with that barbarian forever. Lenine bowed her head. I know. But we have no choice. Lady Flambard burst in, shrieking at Lenine's dress. Third person to roast it, Lenine sighed. Yes, it's my only one. Is it that awful? Flambard, no, it's too gorgeous. You haven't worn this in over a decade. You've grown into it, and lost weight. It looks like a wedding night gown, scandalous. If those barbarians see. Lenine glanced down. They already did. Flambard scolded Whereas for not warning her. Whereas, the princess is always beautiful. I didn't notice. Lenine checked the mirror, nothing special. Flambard dragged her off to change into something modest. Do they think I'm trying to seduce anyone? At the castle gate, Tewakan soldiers patrolled discreetly, mapping the terrain. Whereas muttered, if that arrow had hit, everything would be different. Lenine, if it had, Tewakan would have raised Nock in vengeance. At the Klinefeld estate, Whereas cleared his throat. Open for Princess Lenine Arsak. Inside, old Regent Lindan lounged, legs crossed. The princess herself to deliver funeral news? Lenine curtsied. Yes. His indifference confirmed it, he knew his nephew lived. She announced her wedding to Tawakan, urging Nock's greatest house to attend for friendship. Lindan sipped tea. Marrying the enemy. Accepting barbarians says it all. Lenine refused the treason bait. Good thing I'm sane. Refusing would be madness. The death notice is delivered. Prepare the funeral. Knight Commander Lafitte returns to dust, his name etched forever in glory. Old Lindan set down his teacup with a clink. Shouldn't the little Arsak heiress be avenging her fallen fiancé? I'd hack every barbarian head myself and still not be satisfied, yet you're marrying one? Has that pretty head of yours stopped thinking? He leaned on his hip, smirking defiantly. Lenine's voice turned steel. Mind your tongue. While Nock's guards bled to defend the walls, your men were nowhere. You have no right to lecture me. She rose to leave. Lindan stood too, voice dripping venom. So you'll sell your body to those savages just for Nock? Turns out the Arsak girl only toyed with the Klinefelt heir, then dodged responsibility. Lenine's lips pressed white-hot. Cheap. Lowly. Fury exploded, she seized a vase and smashed it. Lindan stroked his thin beard, unimpressed. Such a temper. Lenine's eyes blazed. Pass a message to him. If he wants Nock to stay peaceful, drop the childish grudge and vanish quietly. Linden's brow arched. Spoiled these past years, have we? Open that mouth once more, who do you think you are? Lenine, Icecom, I was generous. I should have aimed for your head, not the floor. Lindan sneered. Why not show that fire to the barbarians? His gaze slithered to her waist. Ah, already enjoyed yourself, so no fight left? Lenine's vision went red. You. A voice cut through. Enough, uncle. Lafitte stepped in, first sight in days. His eyes brimmed with longing, hers still burned with rage. Lindan scowled. I told you to stay silent. Lafitte advanced. Do not insult Princess Lenine. As Klinefelt heir, I won't ignore it. Lindan hissed. Wake up, she's betrayed us. Lafitte, step aside, uncle. You're the fool here. No woman's worth this. Lenine, worried, Lord Klinefelt, are you hurt? He lunged, crushing her in his arms. Lenine, my Lenine. Bear with me a little longer. I need time to say goodbye to him too. I broke my promise, Shirka never sent reinforcements. You must have waited so long. She whispered, it's fine. I've endured before. Then, firmer, run. Lafitte froze, hands on her shoulders. What? Run, before Tawakan learns you're alive. He gaped. Leave alone? It's the only safe path, for everyone. I'll marry Tawakan. Lafitte reeled. Impossible. You'd abandon me? Lenine frowned. Abandon? Why don't you understand? For Nock, I'll sacrifice anything. This is the only way to protect it. He roared, no. Throwing me away protects Nock? Tears welled in her eyes. Arsak or Klinefelt, neither can beat Tawakan. This is our only choice. Lafitte groaned, head dropping. So you'll hand yourself over, body and soul? How can you be so stupid, princess? That's exactly what those barbarians want. His hand slid to her cheek, then gripped the back of her neck, fingers tangling in her hair, eyes wild, ugly. Lenine recoiled in disgust. Lord Klinefelt, release me. I'm all ready. He shouted over her, you know what I heard in Shirka? About that barbarian leader, why he attacked this backwater kingdom. Rumors danced in her mind. Yes. Still clutching her hair, ignoring her tears, her pain, he snarled. He has a vendetta with Nock. His entire family was slaughtered, by someone from here. He's planned revenge for years. Lenine felt no pain, only shock. He wants Nock, for that? Is it credible? She shoved his hand away. Then why wage war, instead of just proposing? Lafitte laughed madly. You want logic from him? They could crush Nock in 3 days. He said it, if he wanted destruction, he'd have done it from the start. The words soothed her. A marriage not built on greed felt better. She added, Tawakan's surrounded by rumors, even that he's gay. Just gossip. Lafitte went rigid. How do you know it's just gossip? Unless you've slept with him? His face crumpled in despair. Lenine's eyes flashed. I won't tolerate that. Fists clenched, you have no right to speak of my fiancé's bedchamber. Lafitte choked, fiancé? You dare call that savage your fiancé to my face? He roared, I won't leave, and I won't watch you marry another. Lenine walked to the door, voice flat, what if I refuse? Will you shoot me again? Lenine. She paused. If Tawakan proves you fired that arrow, the Klinefelds are erased. Nock drowns in blood. Run. It's the only way to save both you and Nock. At the threshold, his hand slammed the door shut. One thing, just one. She sighed. What? Is he the reason? The question shattered her composure, eyes wide with fear. She turned. Lafitte pressed, answer me. Nock's just an excuse, because you love him, I don't matter. That's why you're leaving me. Lenine gave a bitter laugh. That's your question? He screamed, answer. Fury matched his. She shoved him back. I never imagined you had this face. Glaring at Lafitte with contempt, ending things with you or accepting his proposal, it's all the same to me. Nock is what matters. Leave. That's an order. She strode into the hall. Behind her, Lafitte's desperate cries. Lenine. Tell me clearly, you feel nothing for him, right? Lenine. In the vast Klinefelt manor, Lenine walked with head bowed, his question carving deeper. Do you like him? She told herself. Like? I only promised to try to desire him as he desires me. That's all. A proposal born in blood can't breed special feelings. It shouldn't. At the main gate, 2 guards materialized from the shadows. Lenine barely managed a gasp, where's Whereas? They shrugged. No idea. She called out, voice cracking, no answer. Something's wrong. He said he'd wait. Alone in this viper's nest, instinct screamed, get out. Open the door. Spears crossed her path. What are you doing? Orders to guard this gate. She commanded, threatened with her title, useless. Lindan strolled in, smirking. What's all this noise? So undignified. Lenine demanded answers for the imprisonment. He waved lazily. Can't let you leave. Hands behind his back. Word is you're handing trade rights to the barbarians. If I allow that, I'm no Klinefelt. A priest entered, clutching a holy book, face resigned. They planned this. Klinefelt spoke, I brought him to officiate the wedding. Lenine narrowed her eyes. Whose wedding? He stroked his mustache. Who else? The Arsak daughter, here, now, will vow eternal love and obedience to the Klinefelt son as his wife. Lenine's world tilted. My fault. She thought quiet moves would suffice, never suspected them over Tawakan. Does Lafitte agree to this? Lindan laughed. Good heavens, you forgot. Lafitte is dead. You'll marry his cousin, Lopez. Sweat beaded. Illegitimate, so you wouldn't know. No choice, the heir's gone. Don't worry, princess, he's alive and looks just like the dead one. Lenine stared at Lafitte. Lafitte, don't endanger Nock. If your feelings were true. He grinned wickedly. I don't follow, princess. Don't call me that. I'm Lopez Klinefelt. She screamed, Lafitte. He advanced, cooing, today I marry the beautiful princess. I'll thank the gods forever. Accept me gladly as your husband. Lenine shouted, we're over. This farce changes nothing. Lindan signaled the priest to begin. Lafitte knelt, stroking her face. Oh, it will change things. You'll be my wife. She shoved him. Who allows this? His hand clamped her mouth, the other gripped her throat. Be good. Just a moment. Shoo. Muffled whimpers as the priest intoned. In the name of the first root, Earth's tears, Lahore Venus Attica. Lenine bit his hand, hard. He grunted but held firm. Today the couple, nurtured by Mother Earth, erects an altar. In utter despair, stop. Please. Her eyes flew wide, crash outside. The priest faltered, what? Lindan barked, keep going. Stammering, from this moment, houses Arsak and Klinefelt, under Lahore Venus Attica, vow eternity. The noise grew deafening. Lindan roared, damn it. What's happening? Check it. Before guards moved, an axe splintered the door. Silence, pure terror. Outside, open it. Lafitte's hand loosened. Lenine, dazed, recognized that voice. Tiwakan. Firmus sighed. They're not opening. Shall we smash it, my lord? Tears welled. She screamed, Lord Tiwakan. He didn't hear, only growled, break it. Priest trembling, Lindan sweating, Lafitte clamping her mouth again. The door shuddered under relentless blows. Lindan hissed, Lafitte, hide. He clung, no. Guards dragged him away as he wailed her name. Lindan, hands clasped behind, casual. Bit cheap, but I'm not stupid. Whether Nock becomes a battlefield depends on what the princess says next. Choose your words carefully. Lenine burned with rage. Shameless. The axe carved a gaping hole. Firmus heard the latch. Lower the axe, they're opening. Tiwakan stepped forward, kicked the door wide, and strode in, eyes blazing murder.